Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shogun Zora and thank you for tuning in. Now, Yenwoo Innocence is now officially over, and surprisingly when Yenwoo Innocence ended, I didn't realize it really ended with chapter 250 or 55 was it? And yeah, I'm happy that Yenwoo Innocence is now over. Not like in the sense like it's finally over, yes, I don't need to read this anymore, but in the sense the series has now concluded in a beautiful way. And yeah, I didn't think initially the side story of Yenwoo Innocence would be that big. I thought it's only maybe less than 10 chapters, but we got additional stuff, and also I didn't think I would do an additional video, like compilation video of all my reaction together, because I thought, yeah, it's now done and dusted. But I am happy for Yenwoo Innocence that I had the experience to read through it, and Yenwoo Innocence been one of the biggest series that I've talked about, like in terms of course I've talked about other animes and manga, but Webtoon stuff, but Yenwoo Innocence was the one, especially on TikTok, gave me the most views ever initially to my reaction to chapter 160. And I really love the series Yenwoo Innocence. I think it's a really good story, and potentially for some people it can be slow, especially in the beginning, and how Yenwoo character progressed, but I enjoy it, and I like how he became more confident, more comfortable with other people, which is really important. And I feel like also, series like Yenwoo Innocence, I think like, if you don't like Yenwoo Innocence, I don't think you would enjoy, example, My Happy Marriage, which is a bit similar with the main character who's a bit more timid, and then later on, they get better, but I really am enjoying Yenwoo Innocence. I can't believe I've been reading Yenwoo Innocence since I think when chapter 60 came out, so it's in like roughly 6 years ago. I know it has to be more than 5 years ago, but I think early stage Yenwoo Innocence was really crazy. And yeah, of course, I like Yenwoo Innocence. I love all the characters, and especially like if you have not read Yenwoo Innocence, I would recommend it. It's a bit slow, I could say, but Yenwoo Innocence takes some interesting turn and twist that I would say that you won't really expect in those slice of life romance series, and which is really cool, which I didn't expect later on. He slowly starts to build up, and wow, I guess. And the arts are also drastically changed. I didn't realize how the arts have changed so much, like from the initial chapters, first chapters to now in the series. I didn't realize this. Of course, the thing is also it makes sense that I don't realize it, because Yenwoo Innocence, when I read it, it was in the early stage, and I read it weekly, and of course the natural changes come so slow that you don't realize it. It's not like a situation with JoJo Part 4, where the initially chapters you can see in typical JoJo's art style of the previous part, and then drastically changing. But yeah, I think Yenwoo art is also really good. Art was really amazing, and I've been really enjoying it. Like I mentioned, I love the characters. Yenwoo development is really good. It might be for some people slow, but well, how everything was revealed and everything is really good. So I would really enjoy it if you're Yenwoo Innocence. Especially if you've seen some of my reaction on my YouTube shorts or even TikTok or anything. But now talking a bit about spoilers, if you haven't read it, especially side story, we move on. I think of also my compilation you will see after this part. I've talked about there's some missed opportunities in Yenwoo Innocence, as like the moment that the Yenwoo and Haesol officially got like together, right, where they opened up each other and then got revealed in school that they're a couple. I wish they could have had like 10 chapters talking about like the situation, how everybody views Yenwoo and Haesol in the relationship, because Haesol's constantly been looked as a school idol in the school, right? And it would have been interesting seeing other characters and the situation, because one of the main reasons they didn't want to extract very a lot of tension when they were a couple. And now that officially, it's kind of weird not seeing other people's reaction, especially I forgot the name of the girl. There was a girl who was trying to also help wingman Yenwoo be together with Haesol, and also I think the same girl was also, and there was another girl, also the same girl I forgot, who was attracted to Yenwoo, and it would have been really interesting to see how this unfolds, right? But I mean, it's fine. The only thing is this opportunity would be good to see more. I think it would not have to need to be more than 10 chapters, I think. I've seen other characters and reactions and stuff. But yeah, also I talked about like my initial reaction to each particular chapter and anything, some different things. And also, I'm surprised that we got a bit more reaction of, for example, one of the side characters, Nari, and oh god, why do I forget the character's name? Yenwoo best friend, they got now together, but we never got to see the reaction of these characters, of Yenwoo and Haesol, them together, or other characters, which is really a bit weird because I thought like a few chapters would have been good, like 2 or 3 chapters, like of wishing out together. And yeah, also we never really found out, or am I tweaking? Really found out like what they study. I think Haesol wants to be a teacher, that I know. I forgot what Yenwoo and Haesol study for a while. And yeah, I mean, the side story was really good. We got to see a bit more depth about like Haesol relationship. Yenwoo being very confident that he wants to be with Haesol, especially in the last few chapters when he was trying to propose and everything didn't go well. And I was like, it was not that necessary until we found out he wants to propose. That fair enough. And I was like, yeah, also, if I was Yenwoo in the situation, I would behave the same. But in general, I love Yenwoo. The side story was really good. It gave additional and like sort of conclusion for some characters, especially of Haesol's friend. And it's really beautiful to see that she's ended with Haesol and Yenwoo being together. And especially, I mean, like together, they're married. I thought potentially we would get to see a bit more. That because like initially when I read that, I didn't think it was the final chapter, but it is this final chapter that we got also with the side story, and not sorry, additional Q&A, which is really interesting from the author. You should check it out if you haven't. It goes a bit more deeper, but I talk a little bit in my compilation. So, but yeah, I'll say Innocence is a beautiful story. I'm really happy that I started reading Innocence, and one of the main reasons what really attracts me is like the relationship between Yenwoo and Haesol. I think it was like a tall, beautiful girl, just has more like a masculine vibe compared to Yenwoo, who's a bit more small, timid, and has more bit of feminine vibe. And I think this kind of relation I find really interesting. I've just noticing the type of stuff I'm reading. I like when somehow the female characters sort of has some sense of assertiveness towards the boy. And yeah, this was really drew me into Innocence, and I'm really happy that I enjoyed it. And especially with the twist and turn, especially my reaction when you see it about 160, chapter 160 and chapter 166. And yeah, if you have any other questions or anything regarding Innocence, please you can write down in the comment section below, and I will try to answer in the comments or in a video or YouTube shorts, especially. It's easy. But yeah, I really love Innocence. It's a good series. I will need to make my ranking for another a ranking for my favorite webtoons and manhwa that I've read. Can't believe it's not over. I need to start reading a different series to quench my thirst for Innocence. But I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Now you're going to see my compilation to all my reaction to Innocence. I've done previously a compilation, but it was just initial story without the side stories. You can of course watch all of my side story reactions for Innocence on YouTube Shorts. But if you want everything together, everything is here together. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and may God bless you all. Christ bless you all, and take care. Peace. And now the compilation starts. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. After 160 chapters, oh my, they finally did it. Oh my goodness. Finally, Yenwoo Innocence. Please watch the series. Oh my goodness, I didn't expect that would go that much intense, but bruh, nah. Oh my goodness, please watch read Yenwoo Innocence, because this series is good, like drama, like
goes very deep and stuff, romance stuff, but after all this previous chapter got me hooked, like, oh my goodness, but this chapter 160, now that's wide, that's way too wide, oh my god. Yo, also, how it looks like right now with Yenwoo Innocence chapter 163 and the preview of chapter 164, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, what's coming next. Wow, I just read the newest chapter of Yenwoo Innocence chapter 166, and wow, it's messed up. Wow, I didn't expect that. Someone mentioned in comments on one of my videos that 166 is going to be a bit messed up, but I didn't expect it. But I should have expected from Yenwoo Innocence because it had a lot of moments and chapters where it then went from 0 to 100, really very dark and upsetting. And the news chapter is sad. It's really just sad. It makes sense how Haesol, I don't know the correct pronunciation because I've never heard anyone pronouncing her name, but I would say Haesol. I've never seen anyone, like I said, pronouncing, but now you see her as a character. It makes everything sense, like with the problem with her family and sort of like after being abandoned and everything. And wow, I don't know what to expect because Innocence has a lot of chapters where I would say people are not comfortable reading, and I can understand with the new chapter is kind of messed up with all the dynamic what's happening with Haesol right now, and that she's now finally speaking up to Yenwoo about it, because Yenwoo is also a character who always wants to know about Haesol more deeply, because of course they're both a couple now, and like really a loving couple now, and freaking say, I don't know what to say. It's just sad, and I'm surprised that we suddenly got the backstory about Haesol. I don't think it's a full backstory about Haesol, because there's few things she didn't really mention that we've seen very early on, or like very like 100 chapters ago about Haesol. But it's just upsetting. Yikes. And like I said, I'm a bit surprised that she's opened up now. Now I'm interested if Yenwoo is going to open up about Haesol, about his problems, dark past, because one of the big problems I think for me was they don't talk about their issues. It's not like an issue like in their past. It's not like a thing that you can just talk about, because it's very dark in both of their lives. And now the Haesol has opened up and now asked Yenwoo about his past, like, because it's one thing she was always wanted to know why Haesol, like why Yenwoo and his friend are that close and everything, and why he's always relying on her. It's like kind of weird. And yeah, it'd be interesting now if Yenwoo would open up, because it'd be messed up if Yenwoo would not, because it's messed up. It's very messed up, and has to open up, and if he didn't do it, it would be kind of messed up on her part. But if he would, it would make a big progress in their relationship, because one of the biggest problem was they would not talk about each other past, and sort of one of their friends would sort of know it, but each other, even though they're a couple, would not. But wow, yikes, I didn't expect it. So yeah, Yenwoo Innocence chapter 166. Damn. So yeah, Yenwoo Innocence chapter 166, and yeah, I'm going to only do reviews when something major has happened. But yeah, if you don't want to see any spoilers, then scroll up. Yes, with Yenwoo Innocence in the news chapter, finally also I was worried if Yenwoo was not about to share his story, but thankfully he did, and now Haesol and Yenwoo are now fully open to each other after so many events, because that was often the problem where Yenwoo and Haesol don't want to talk about each other. This would create a weird dynamic and make the relationship worse. But now they're open to each other, and that's kind of good. That's good. And yeah, I think the only thing now we have in the story is whose character was that we saw a few chapters ago in Yenwoo Innocence, who was looking for Haesol, and potentially what I think could be is that's Haesol's father. If that's the case, oh dear, that's not good. That's not good at all. That's a big problem. And yeah, that's yeah, if you know, you know, it's a big problem. And also, one thing that Yenwoo didn't really mention, okay, he didn't really had to, but about the person who hate him. So, yeah, these two characters now are sort of on the loose, and I think if they're both are gone, then finally we'll be done with this. Not done with Steve, but no problem anymore. But because potentially Haesol's father coming back, will create a new, way more drama, way more problem. Haesol, and also the character with who assaulted Yenwoo. If we can finally get rid of them, then we are finally good. And also, yeah, that's good. But besides that, everything. It's been a beautiful chapter. It's been a good chapter. But also, unfortunately, there's going to be a hiatus. I think it's going till mid-November. So potentially, if we can get translation, they're going to be till late November to early December. Going to get the new chapter of Innocence, chapter 167, because the author is unfortunately something is with her health. That's unfortunate, and so we just hope that everything goes well. But besides that, yeah, Innocence is really doing well. We're getting there. We're getting there to the romance, relationship, beautiful moments getting up there. But yeah, but potentially we have two things that could potentially ruin everything. But yeah, looking forward. Let's go, finally! Yenwoo Innocent is back with a new chapter 168 is back now, finally, after 2 months of hiatus because the creator was sick. Oh, thank goodness, and the creator is now back, and now we have a new chapter of Yenwoo Innocent. I'm so happy about it. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting. I was literally complaining that TikTok a few days ago about starting a new manhwa because Yenwoo Innocent is not back, and now Yenwoo Innocent is back. It's so good. Oh, the news chapter got me a little bit of blushing. Goodness gracious, thank goodness, because I have a dark skin. No one can see I'm blushing, but it got me like this a little bit. I'm so excited, yeah, and I'm excited what's going to happen next. I'm so happy Yenwoo Innocent's back. So yeah, if you haven't watched read Yenwoo Innocent, it's really good. It's a good story. It has also messed up scenes and deals a bit of like interesting, a bit of more deeper topics, but it's really good. I love it so far. Read Yenwoo Innocent, it's back. I just read the newest chapter of Yenwoo Innocence, and I just noticed Haesol is not even that tall, because in the newest chapter of Yenwoo Innocence, we got revealed that Haesol is 175 centimeters tall, making her 5'9", right? And I always assumed, because how the manual portrayed the women and girls in Yenwoo Innocence, that the girls are barely like 4'11" to 5'5" in the series. And yeah, Haesol looks much taller, because also she wears heels, making her 6 foot, right? And Yenwoo, if you look at Yenwoo, who is like a delicate boy, small delicate boy, he is like potentially for 5'2" or something. And I always think like I said, Haesol is much taller because she looks like it's the same height as the regular boys in the manhwa, and that makes her only like roughly the same height as me. I thought she was much taller than me, but no, she's like the same height as me, surprisingly. Yenwoo, freaking stop! Oh my goodness! I just read the newest chapter. You can probably see which chapter I've read. And freaking Yenwoo. I know Yenwoo meant it well, right? Trying to stop someone beating up someone else. But freaking Yenwoo, this is not the second time. This is not the first time this happened. I think it's the second or third time now that Yenwoo tried to stop a fight. But Yenwoo is a small, timid, delicate boy. He can't do nothing. He's trying to stop freaking gangster from fighting. I'm like, how is it possible? Yenwoo, you will not be able. And he does it. And he does. And I want to throw my phone away when he tried to get in the middle to stop fight. I'm like, oh my goodness. Now he's getting get punched. But thankfully, all the people surrounded stopped the fighting also. So we're lucky. I was like, thank goodness. Also later, his friend, I forgot his name, Yenwoo's friend also said, he should be careful, right? Because he doesn't know what's going to happen next. And of course, he said what he did was courageous, because at least other people were there to help him out. But yeah, also now this mysterious figure that's also now hanging out with Yenwoo, and so mysterious and sort of, what's the word? Yeah, he's so very mysterious, and that has like very weird vibes to him. And Yenwoo is, yeah, I give you my number. It's totally fine. It gives the address. I'm like, Yenwoo, freaking, how can you be that naive? And then later on, he goes also with him later out to take some coffee and stuff. I'm like, this guy is very mysterious, and also we saw this figure also I think a few chapters ago after the play that Yenwoo had with Haesol, right? And I was like, who is this? And we got Haesol's backstory, and I probably thought this potentially could be Haesol's father, and that would be a very, very dark turn. And so that's what I thought. And later they both hang out, Yenwoo and the mysterious figure. I'm like, this is real, but he looks very young. And then later he constantly asks Yenwoo about him, and he notices a few things. And probably because he knows Yenwoo because of this freaking play that got video recorded and been on social media. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then later he sees freaking Haesol, this mysterious figure, and then tries to hug her. I'm like, huh? Who's this? And then you see Yenwoo being really angry, saying, get away from my girlfriend. I'm like, wow, this is the most angry, like, manliest thing I've seen Yenwoo doing. And then later it turns out his name is Kang Haesol, Kang's little brother. I'm like, how's this possible? And like Haesol's little brother, I'm like, how's this possible? She doesn't have. I'm like, huh? That doesn't make sense. They look like twins. She has been a twin. And I'm like, damn. Now we get to learn more. So it's been sort of a while since the last time I talked about Yenwoo Innocence. And yeah, I haven't read the last few chapters, like 8 chapters that came out like 2 months ago. So yeah, I just want to give you my live reaction to particular moments. Like I'm going to read everything and then give you guys my reaction from chapter 179 to 186. Okay, let's go. Oh my freaking goodness. I'm chapter 179. Haven't finished it, but still, we just found out that Haesol's father got remarried. Okay, to a girl who's 23. Oh, it's legal, yeah, but still kind of weird. And also, Haesol's father, if you know, you know. Oh, nah. The thing is, if you remarry someone, okay, it's one thing. Even if this huge age gap is one thing, but it starts out getting way, really, really weird if the person you marry is almost the same age as your children. Like, what? Well, Kang so Haesol brother, I feel for him. Like, he has no one. He doesn't remember who his mom is and where the mom is. I don't think we know where she is. The father remarried someone who is almost the same age as him, and then Haesol, the person who constantly looking forward to, doesn't consider him. He's like all alone by himself. That's just so messed up. So right now I've read 180 chapter 180. I feel bad for Kang Haesol, Haesol brother, and I understand how Haesol talks about like his situation. He doesn't want anyone else now suddenly coming from her past and then ruining the whole situation she is right now. Like she's right content, but I feel like she's also trying. Like, I'm also really happy that Yenwoo doesn't try to bother right in and say, no, you have family, you have to, and everything, because I thought potentially this could have been a case, but Yenwoo doesn't do this as good. He just only tries to get a bit of understanding, so he doesn't really try to butt in. But yeah, the thing is also about Haesol, I think she's like trying to avoid a little bit something like the whole situation with their brother and their family, and trying to get more like touchy with Yenwoo in chapter at the end. But alright, we'll see how it goes further on. Just read chapter 181, and wow, this chapter is really beautiful as how Yenwoo describes himself, what it means, what family really means, right? And what he views as family and what he understands family, and how he describes what family could mean, that family that is not necessarily the people you know, but potentially could be other people that you feel really close with, and a place that you can always go back. And that is so beautiful in chapter 181. this is one of the most beautiful chapters in Innocence, I would say. How he describes it and how to create the artist to illustrate each different thing. Example, like the trees, it's really beautiful. Yeah, and now that Haesol's, even though Haesol is still a little bit like he doesn't really want to open up. I understand. I'm really happy that Yenwoo doesn't really force on here, but he just wants to open a potential. It could be, even though Haesol doesn't really want to, but he will give it a try. This is the only thing you could do. As long the moment, because she didn't have like really have memories of him, of her brother King Haesol. Now that she probably potentially can open up now, and potentially now if she can properly decide for herself if she wants him in her life, good. If she doesn't want him really at all with her life, good. It's better than previously if she would have, when she said no, she doesn't want him in her life, because that time she doesn't remember him, right? And because she remembers it's like a dark past, she doesn't want like bad memories. She doesn't want him to be in his life. That's why she corrected him. But now, potentially, with now at this point in the story at 181, Haesol could have potential like a better understanding what she views as family, what a better understanding of her past is, because she constantly avoids it, and like her memory avoids it. And now if she can proper understand and then decide, I think it would lead to better direction. I'm out. I'm just reading the beginning 182, and Haesol's speech is still like a bit like hesitant about King Haesol, and then the moment suddenly Yenwoo takes Haesol's face, turns, kisses her directly. I'm surprised. Wow. I was reading like this, and then oh, how beautiful, cute. Freaking saying, I'm just starting to read chapter 183, and then it shows this following chapter contains a picture of child abuse. Reader discretion is advised, so it doesn't start out. Yikes! So I thought it would start out a bit wholesome with Haesol getting dressed in the main dressing, but every time if he flinch or if anything, if he didn't stand still, he would get hit by the maid. Oh, fucking sake. And then damn, how he described it is horrendous. The blow would be so hard it felt like a hammer to the head. Goodness gracious. The face of King Haesol that's not just normal spanking. Like, this is legit abuse. Goodness gracious. Oh, Haesol looks cute as a child. Okay, it makes sense now a little bit why he. And of course, it's your sister, you'll be attached to her, but if this is the only person you can hold on to as a child, then yeah. What's really sad is like Haesol had like at the first he didn't want to be outside because of course he was an unfamiliar place. He never went outside. He never socialized with other children. Everything is really scary and makes sense. And of course, I remember as a child example, not of course not that bad, but I remember as a child I would constantly cry when I had to go to a new kindergarten. I remember because I moved and had went to different kindergarten. I remember the first day I cried, constantly cried. I wanted to go home and everything when my parents left me in the kindergarten. Then after the same day, I got used to everything and that stuff. But this is kind of messed up. Also, surprisingly, Haesol was not able to go outside for I don't know why. I'm just chapter 183, so 3 chapters left. But yeah, and also we see for the first time Haesol eating chocolate. So yeah, this also explains also other things, like why Haesol is also like only like sweet stuff. One part of it anyway, how she got introduced to it. But this is already messed up. It looks like Haesol all the time got used to being in the kindergarten. Why Haesol looks kind of distraught. Also, Haesol because she can't go outside for whatever reason. She seems really interesting to all the things she Haesol said. Oh, I'm just reading the beginning 184, and you can see one side of Haesol is blue, like she looked like she was beaten up, like it has a blue eye. Oh, freaking sake. Yikes, it's getting sad. I feel sort of King Haesol, he wants to be with his sister, also wants to be cool thing, but we're seeing now from Haesol, getting more from Haesol's perspective as a child, that is really it's sad. Oh, no freaking say chapter 185. The following chapter contains this picture of child abuse. Reader discretion advice. Oh, here we go. This is just ridiculous. Chapter 185 is just sad. Just sad how people, how the kids are treated now, how they, because how bad they treated, how they think also gets treated, gets affected really hard and everything. And goodness gracious, this is just beyond abuse. This is just sickening. Damn, I'm not caught up with chapter 186. So we do see Haesol and Haesol and mother. Interesting. I mean, from the flashback, we only saw the father's. We saw the father, but we didn't really see his face. But there's one moment where Haesol remembers for the first time her father when she's for the first time sees King Haesol. And now the mom, we don't see her face. It looks like the mom tries to be a parent, but now it's weird. Oh, this everything is so messed up and sad. Well, I thought Yenwoo would be like a drama, romance series, nothing that drastic, but this is just sad. Goodness gracious, and this video is almost 10 minutes. But yeah, you can see my react to Innocence from chapter 178 to chapter 186. Damn, just messed up. Goodness gracious. Yo, I just read no Windbreaker, Innocence chapter 188. And oh my goodness, this is just beyond messed up. We are finally done with the backstory of Haesol and Haesol. And this is just sad. This is just beyond sad. This is just, oh goodness gracious. Both of them are so unfortunate how they get treated. It's like beyond child abuse. And every time reading the backstories about like, this chapter contains like child abuse, something is, you know, it's really bad. And oh my goodness, like both of them have like a serious problem. Also this also the backstory explain a lot about Haesol, example the way she is, about her past, of course, and she has an eating disorder, why she doesn't want to be anyone any member of the past, why it makes sense, everything. Both of them have like really traumatic experience, and they have no one to rely to as a child when they were children to rely to. The first moment we saw about the backstory, the maid beat them all the time if they didn't really behave. It's really bad. They get bruises, literally bruises. The father, we don't need to talk about the horrible person already, and then also is not a good person at all. And then the mom, the thing with the mom, from one of the things we've heard about how the relationship with the father was, it's really also not bad. And pretending you thought, I didn't expect we would see the mom, but then we got introduced like, yeah, she tried her best, yeah, even though her sister looks like, so the Haesol aunt looks like that she doesn't want to do anything with him because of the whole situation what happened with the father and the mom. And the mom will try to get in, but the mom has serious problems for herself. She tried also, it looks at the beginning she tries her best, but also really bad, and later it turns out really, the mom has problems itself with drinking and putting Haesol hair and everything. This is beyond crazy. Both of them are really crazy. I don't know how Haesol got through all this, because from the looks of it, he went to his father. No way, he went with his father. Haesol probably stayed with the aunt, and the aunt dislikes him, hates him. Also, especially in the end, where she really. This is just messed up. This, unfortunately, this is. Of course, the story is not real, but this is an example this literally could happen to children. Unfortunately, and also what's even worse is when children, unfortunately, have it worse and don't make it. But wow, this is just beyond messed up. I don't know how they will cope. I really hope that Haesol and Haesol probably have at least get their relation together and be happy again. Yeah, I just read the newest chapter of Innocence, chapter 192, and this one hurts. I mean, we see Haesol and Yenwoo freaking in the amusement park, and when Haesol said to Haesol, riding with you, and it's not fun at all, and I don't need you stop calling me Nuna because all I need is Yenwoo. That just hurts because Haesol constantly tries to get better relationship with his sister Haesol, and the thing is, both of them have like really messed up past and unfortunately also coped in a not good way with the past that happened. And now Haesol saying I don't need you to Haesol is really hurt because Haesol only person he thinks he can have a good relationship with, only person he has in his life is Haesol, and now the same person his sister saying I don't need you. That is so beyond messed up. That is just sad. When I was reading, I was like, this must have hurt. And yeah, apparently also chapter 194. So in 2 chapters, something crazy is about to happen. I don't know what else can get worse. We have seen so many messed up things happening in Yenwoo Innocence. I don't know how the creator make it like worse, God forbid. I was about to start reading Yenwoo Innocence chapter 195, and when it starts like this, you know, it ain't good. It ain't good. So let's see how bad it's going to be. Goodness gracious. Of course, something has to happen. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Just read. I'm not even done yet with the chapter. This is so messed up in so many levels. Goodness gracious. No wonder Haesol doesn't want to remember anything that happened in the past. The father, one of the worst father ever have witnessed. I just read what happened to Haesol. We knew from the past already long time ago she was like potentially child model stuff. But what happened to her through malnourishment, I can't pronounce it, to mistreatment and other stuff? Oh my goodness, this is beyond messed up. And now he even says, if anyone's willing to take the wasted piece of trash from my hands, be all means, be my guest. How can you say this as a father? This has to be one of the worst. This chapter 194 has to be one of the worst chapters, like in terms of like how bad things got ever. This is beyond. And he says, what a worthless little pest. Goodness gracious. You're every bit as useless as that mothers of yours never once doing me any good. He says this to Haesol, a 7-year-old Haesol who is in hospital. Bumba Clark. This is, oh my goodness. This is one of the most messed up things ever. What the? Oh, that poor Haesol. Freaking sake, and now she is like nose bleeding. Oh, goodness gracious. The whole family is screwed. Father screwed. Mother screwed. And everything has to, everything is screwed. Everything is messed up. Let's talk about it. Yenwoo Innocence chapter 198. Goodness gracious, I've just noticed I started reading Yenwoo Innocence when it only had maybe 7 to 8 chapters. But anyways, yeah, right now it looks very beautiful. Haesol and Haesol are now trying to be normal siblings again, right? Because of the trauma that Haesol had, and now Haesol can now stay with Haesol, and now both of them starting to slowly grow together, grow a relationship together as siblings. That's really beautiful. After the whole freaking event that happened, it was the parents, both the parents horrible, father the worst, but now it's really beautiful. And also in the chapter 198, and we can see Haesol being very happy and Haesol trying to be kinder to him, and also that Haesol and Haesol really have had a nice time, especially Yenwoo and also Haesol later on the Ferris wheel, right? And then both of them were talking, and then how like Haesol, even though often she hurt Yenwoo, and Yenwoo still stayed. Even, wait a second, even the chapter before the first time kissed, Yenwoo almost gave up on Haesol completely, which was crazy. But now they're a beautiful couple, now everything is really good. And now I think that concludes this saga with the brother of Haesol, right?
right now I think everything came together and now they're cool with each other. And now probably we're going to get into a different arc with Innocence, and then probably we can have really good moments, beautiful moments, and then it goes dark. As always, it's freaking annoying. And it reminds me almost like sometimes the direction that Yenwoo Innocence goes, it gives me the vibe of Boys Abyss. And Boys Abyss, oh brother, let's not talk about this. But let's hope we get more continuously really good chapters, really wholesome, and before like the drama goes down. This reminds me of chapter 160, where Haesol and Yenwoo really kissed and it was really beautiful. And then 6 chapters later, the beautiful moment, bam! When we first found out about Haesol, what Haesol's father did, and we was like, wow, ruined the whole mood. But that's beautiful. I'm really happy and I'm excited to see more.
I wish we could always stay like this in Yenwoo Innocence. So let's talk about it. Yenwoo Innocence chapter 199. 199. Yes, it was a wholesome chapter. It was very cute. We see Haesol and Yenwoo going to Yenwoo's parents because they're going to pick up a few stuff from Haesol, and they were all together eating together, and it was a very wholesome chapter and everything. And I really enjoyed it. And also we had like some few cute, hilarious moments of Haesol and also about Yenwoo potentially getting married and stuff. This was beautiful. And I also noticed that we're just in second year in high school. That's crazy. And I personally think potentially Yenwoo Innocence will end when they finish third year, right? Or they could always go further, but I think for a high school setting series like this, they're going to potentially end when they're finishing the third year of high school, right? But yeah, but everything is now concluded, like I mentioned in that previous video. Haesol and Haesol are now bonding more like a siblings, and they're both really cute, and I'm really happy for it. And I'm also seeing Yenwoo being so flustered and also thought so many things about like how it looked like when Yenwoo and Haesol were married or are about to get married, how all this would look like. This was really cute, and I personally think we're going to still see lots coming. Especially, I feel like there are 2 things left before I could legit see myself that Yenwoo Innocence is going to end, and the 2 things is Haesol's parents, because we got introduced to them through the backstory from Haesol and everything, but I'm not sure how. Probably they will have another role in the story, and they will probably come back, and they're going to meet Yenwoo, and then it's going to be problematic and stuff. This is also a big thing, and we see how messed up the parents are. You know, other one problem we have is still Yenwoo bully from middle school, I would say, is also still around. I don't think that he's fully dealt with, so potentially we're going to see him again, and that's really unfortunate. And I feel like if we get these 2 scenario, parents and people out, then I think Yenwoo Innocence I see myself Yenwoo Innocence can end. Of course, other drama can happen too, but I think these are the 2 keys thing. And yeah, I really hope Yenwoo Innocence will stay like this, really wholesome, and let's see how long it will take before all sunshine and rainbows goes into the dark abyss. Because if you remember chapter 160, Yenwoo Innocence, where they kissed, and then 6 chapters later we got the story from Haesol. We went so high, we're happy, and then we went down like this. But let's see how it goes. Yo, let's talk about Yenwoo Innocence chapter 205. So yeah, in general, the previous few Yenwoo Innocence chapters from chapter 200 have been relevant and have been really good and really wholesome. And I thought potentially we get potentially more, and I will talk about what I mean. But overall, everything's been really cute so far. And now in chapter, especially 205, so we see the squad and Haesol and Haesol be together, having nice holiday together. And now in chapter 205, yeah, it looks like this saga, like this arc with King Haesol's brother, it's now over. And I find it kind of interesting because I thought potentially we get to see more, because in when they were in this holiday trip, Kang Haesol mentioned that, example, he doesn't want to use too much of his father's card because they could potentially track it, and I thought this potentially could lead to him finding out where Haesol is, and that would be a big drama. And also, I've seen a lot of people saying also are a bit like worried about how many wholesome good chapters happened back to back before something bad happened. Because you know, every time when something really beautiful or something wholesome happens, something drastic happens all the time. And now I'm wondering how it's going to be, but it looks like they concluded everything because Kang Haesol, and Yenwoo were celebrating New Year's together, and now Haesol went back home, and it looks really cute. Like, and now Haesol really embraces her brother really much, and they say we can always come together, we can talk all the time, because in the beginning of the arc it was very, very brutal, but thank goodness they have now closed their beautiful relationship. And yeah, one thing I've noticed, someone said Yenwoo Innocence will end in chapter 206, so next chapter. How? I'm like, because I don't know if Yenwoo Innocence, how long Yenwoo Innocence will going to go, but I think potentially chapter 206 will be a break of the season, because I've mentioned before, because there's so many two major things that still can happen Yenwoo Innocence that need to be addressed. First, Yenwoo bully, he hasn't been addressed yet because he fought Yenwoo's friend, and that's it. And also, I think about Haesol's parents. Before that, I don't imagine the show being over. But yeah, but I could imagine still going further, like, and after 30 and then potentially getting married, because Yenwoo talked about getting married very early on after high school. But yeah, I'm excited, but I don't think Yenwoo Innocence will end now. It's just be very, very crazy. So yeah, it's officially over. Yenwoo Innocence is now over. Let's talk about it. Yenwoo Innocence chapter 206. I can't believe Yenwoo Innocence over. Like, okay, it's been also announced we get potentially a side story in winter. Like, yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, feels kind of weird to me, because Yenwoo Innocence is, thanks to Yenwoo Innocence, this a series that's not very well known. This got me the most views I ever got on TikTok, and it was my reaction to chapter 160. And yeah, I've been reading Yenwoo Innocence since I think chapter 60, around chapter 60. So yeah, the series was going for 5 years, and I was reading it for almost 4 years. So it's crazy. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, the series starts out, the chapter 206 starts out when the characters, all the Yenwoo and everybody is in school again. And then they mention now that in third years, I was like, wait, what? What happened? And then they initially said, yeah, they got to new classes, now they're in third years. It makes sense because we were in winter and now they're in spring, and in spring is usually in Asia when new school year starts, and this was kind of surprising. And yeah, and also everybody seems to be doing fine. Everybody likes the couple between Yenwoo and Haesol, which is surprising. I thought potentially we're going to get a small arc or like few chapters about everybody reaction, because I thought it's going to be like everybody don't approve of it because Haesol, the school idol, most popular character, and Yenwoo, who's not that nobody who looks more feminine and stuff. I mean, it matches more because Haesol has more like a man, no more male vibe, and Yenwoo female. But yeah, everybody's now in different classes, everybody's doing fine, and everything seems really well. I mean, I'm not disappointed. The ending itself was good, but there could be potential more, because I think I said in previous video about, like, example, I thought potentially we're going to get to see more of them during third year and just about to graduate and then potentially getting married, or like I mentioned right now, maybe the school talk about them both being a couple, potentially also Haesol's parents. I thought potentially we're going to get to see more about them, and also about the bully from Yenwoo who attacked him, because we never got really resolved about the bully, because we only know Yenwoo friend their fault and that's it, but nothing really. A bit surprised, but then he could have been more. But yeah, Yenwoo Innocence is over. I'm surprised, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Yenwoo Innocence, and I love everyone who saw all the videos I've made about Yenwoo Innocence. I'm very happy about it, and potentially we're going to get a side story about potentially, I don't know if there's going to be adults more or about the other characters, small things, but
I had a great vibe of Innocence. It was wholesome, cute, dramatic, and surprising. But yeah, it was nice. So yeah, I was checking out when we get more of Innocence because we know we're going to get a mini series potentially about what's going to happen with the characters. Apparently, it was meant to be like just a mini series, 5 chapters, but it looks like we're going to be getting a bit more. And also, apparently, we're going to get it's going to come out roughly on the 10th of February, I think, and that's really cool because I was wondering when it will come out because initially it was said it comes in December, but oh well, that's cool and all. But also I found out also we got more extra stuff with Innocence, like example, like more illustration. Example here, we can see a gender-bent version of Haesol and Yenwoo, which is crazy. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But the thing is, if you're looking at Haesol, she looks like identical to her brother Haesol, but she looks more sleek, more defined. I don't know how to more refined, I would say, because Haesol is more I don't know. I can't really describe it, but we also see Yenwoo, and Yenwoo they look identical to their counterpart, but yeah, but Yenwoo has now that fluffier hair, and I was thinking to myself how would the story of Yenwoo Innocent unfold if they were gender bent? I mean, the story would have not changed much different. Of course, few aspects would have changed because Yenwoo would not be constantly assumed that he was a girl, because literally a girl. But the story of Yenwoo Innocent would be almost like a generic romance. But then I realized the stuff they're both going through would be still so messed up, especially for Yenwoo. Because unfortunately, when it comes to a male character, a male person, or in general, but a man, if the stuff they go through is not really emphasized or really looked as much cared as much compared if it was something happening to a woman. And especially the things we know that happens to Haesol and Yenwoo, if it was a story in point of view of him being a girl and this happening, goodness gracious, this would have been so messed up. Goodness gracious, that's beyond insane. Then we have drawings of them, of course, when they were younger and the heights. And yeah, you can see at that moment the sparkle was gone, unfortunate. And look at this drawing's illustration. Look, Yenwoo was so smaller than both of them, the big difference. And also, wait, that means Yenwoo is Yenwoo was not 155 because if he was a girl. But look at the difference, wow. And the art is so much, a bit more vibrant and sleek and well more defined compared to, in chapter 1. Because if you look chapter 1 compared to chapter 2, and chapter 1 to the current chapters, the art side is changed drastically. And look at this. If Yenwoo was there when they were children, they would have been so happy. They had a person who cares about them and eat and give them nice food. Sorry for coming late, but yeah, finally just read the newest chapter of Yenwoo Innocence. Yenwoo Innocence is back for a while at least, with the actual chapter about how the characters are now. And yeah, I just read it, and yeah, spoilers, of course. Chapter 207, and it's very adorable. And we see everybody's back. Yenwoo, Haesol, Nari, and everybody's back. The main group that we saw also previously at the end of Innocence, and that's so adorable. And I like everybody being back again. Also, it's really cute, and you can see everybody's looks more mature. And also with Haesol looks, I don't know how to describe, she looks way more, Haesol looked always like a more mature, serious person, but now she has sort of a more of a feminine charm to her, especially when panics like this happens. And also it seems like she has now way more hair open, and wow, if we look at this compared to chapter 1 of Yenwoo Innocence, there's a big difference, because I never noticed how drastic the art style changed, because I read it 8 chapters back to back, and then from there on I started. But yeah, it's really beautiful, wholesome, seeing all the character, and yeah, Yenwoo Innocence, it's nice to be back. So yet again, we are in Yenwoo Innocence chapter 208. So now we are following the characters when they turn adults and they're drinking for the first time alcohol, and of course spoilers. And it's funny seeing them and drinking alcohol because everyone trying tasting alcohol for the first time, they they see like alcohol doesn't taste nice. I'm the same person, I don't drink, and seeing every character not liking, even Haesol, even almost spitting out the drinks, it's kind of hilarious. I thought Haesol would be the one character who can handle it well, but it makes sense. The image also just like her palate tastes like it's like from a child. Makes sense. She like only sweet stuff because of her eating disorder, but now she's eating more vegetable thanks to Yenwoo and everything. And it's kind of funny. Every character like completely drunk and saying stupid stuff, and Yenwoo also being like very drunk, and towards Haesol, yes, doing Haesol, he's also like, oh my god, you're so beautiful and stuff, and that's really funny. And then later he's a bit more assertive, like talk about how pretty he is, and he's even kissing her all over her face, and constantly holding her face and everything. This is really funny. And now seeing him more assertive is interesting, but imagine he was more like a dominant, assertive type when he gets drunk. Like, you know, the Kabadon, hand against the wall. Imagine he was like that to Haesol. This would have scared me a little bit, but we move on. This is really interesting. Later, as he is really showering Haesol with Yenwoo, and showering Haesol with so much affection, kissing her, and touching her constantly. And you can see Haesol blushing a little bit. And at the end, she's literally saying, "Should I pour you another glass?" Bruh. She doesn't mind Yenwoo being like that, but even you can see Haesol brother Haesol being like, "Hey yo, that's too much." But yeah, it's kind of funny. Apparently there's already like few other chapters out. I think this is chapter 209, but they're not translated. I have not seen much, but I've seen a few panels, and it seems like it's going to be very, very interesting with a particular character we've seen, and yeah, has to do something with Haesol. But yeah, I've been enjoying this so far. Dearest me, I just read Yenwoo in chapter 209. Spoilers if you have not read the news chapter, so yeah, I'm gonna start. So the chapter starts off really nice, like cute, like everybody's hanging over about the alcohol they all drank the day before, and how bad it is. And then also we see Yenwoo and Haesol discussing about and how Yenwoo was when he drunk. Even though Yenwoo is a very affectionate person, he was very assertive, and then Haesol really enjoyed it, seeing like that, being overly assertive and more affectionate, and that was kind of cute and all. But the chapter is messed up because we saw previously Haesol had some bruises and stuff. Because we literally thought he potentially had a fight or something, but no, it turns out he had a fight with the father, because he didn't go to the university, the law school that his father wanted. And has so pursued it his own way. And oh my goodness, the bruise that he had is unmet. He with dry, I don't know what's called. Like you go, the thing that you use for growth, right? I think called a driver. He hit it with a driver. You can see all the bruises. That is ludicrous. That's mental. And then also he freaked out, went ballistic. The father went ballistic, and goodness gracious, and also he insulted Haesol about his uses like Haesol, and also like the blood of the mother tainted them apparently and stuff. This is so messed up because, and previously, like when we the last few chapters of Yenwoo Innocence, we saw the backstory of Haesol and her father, the relationship, what happened, which was really messed up and disgusting. Worst part of history, but this chapter is even, I won't say even more worse, but it's as equally as worse what happened. This is just unfortunate, disgusting, one of the worst father history, and especially chapter 166, what happened. You know, drastically changed the whole progressive series of the view of Yenwoo Innocence, especially of Haesol, and yeah, rah. Goodness gracious. And also I thought about when Yenwoo Innocence ended, I thought it's kind of weird potentially that we're not going to see more of potentially Haesol and Haesol father because of the story where what happened. But now that now we got more information about it,
ooh, it'd be interesting if there's going to be some kind of conclusion, not like a happy ending. I don't expect that, but some sort of conclusion with potentially the parent of Haesol and Haesol. But yeah, worst father in history. Goodness gracious, it'd be interesting. Imagine Yenwoo meeting Haesol father. Oof. Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, I take it back. Father of the century. Yeah, Yenwoo Innocence chapter 210. If you have not caught up, please go away. So yeah, we started out again with the backstory, not the backstory, but of the flashback, what happened to Haesol, and goodness gracious, the father is so disgusting, goodness gracious. And yeah, I forgot that Haesol mentioned that his father got married to someone who is roughly the same age as them, which is weird. I think also, yeah, Haesol and Haesol are roughly should be now 20, and that's crazy what's happening, and yeah, the whole situation is so sad and disgusting, and even sort of the stepmother being the same age and she is pregnant. Brother, he's at least like almost 30 years older. The father's almost like 30 years older than her. This is crazy. And this really sad thing is, I have a friend, unfortunately, who the father is married to someone who's roughly the same age as her, which is ludicrous. It's not like maybe like teenage pregnancy. Now it's like generally much older. Sad, but yeah, and we got to see like Yenwoo and Haesol talking about also the situation, and I'm now thinking, imagine imagine Haesol and Haesol never got to be close again. Look at what kind of situation Haesol would have been. It would have been all hell on earth for him. This is beyond sad, but thankfully they got close together, and yeah, and also the situation is kind of a bit interesting. Well, I've not really thought about, like, when he has to mention, like, potentially he doesn't want to bring all this up because if Yenwoo and Haesol get married, then the potentially family drama could come into their marriage, and yeah, I really have not thought about it because I never thought about potentially Yenwoo Innocence, and we get to see this also the problem, but yeah, also Yenwoo talking, getting very emotional, thinking about that situation they were in and teaming up. And that's just realistic. I would potentially be into and also be emotional because think about it. If you know the story of Yin and Haesol and they are close to you, very dear to you, then think about all the situation that happened to them is just sad. Also, it'd be interesting. Imagine, I don't know how far the story of Yenwoo Innocence go because just right now we're going as just a side story, so potentially only like a few chapters less. But it would be interesting if they get to see genuinely they get married. I mean, there's I think a couple pages of it, but how interesting it's going to be if the father suddenly shows up because yeah, they get married and this Haesol is his daughter and Yenwoo meeting him. Ooh, yeah, that would be interesting, but we'll see. You know what time it is? Yenwoo Innocence chapter 212. If you have not caught up, please scroll away. And yes, yeah, it looks, yeah. Haesol is just talked with their mom, and that's really interesting. And also, it's the first time we've seen the mother. She is pretty, and the whole situation, the family is, of course, really messed up, as we figured out. And now we see a bit of the mom's perspective, while the mom understands what happened in the past, and so she doesn't want her child, like Haesol, has to be technically connected to her. Not like she wants not to connect with them, but she knows like what she did is wrong, all the things that happened. I do believe there is still some stuff regarding to the mother of Haesol, and the father has. There is, I think, some stuff has happened that we have not fully seen yet. But yeah, I mean, it's really sad, of course. And the mother of Haesol tries to disconnect herself from them, so the Haesol don't rely on them too much, and because of the past and stuff, and it could be troublesome if they start out, of course, when they go to university, and that's the whole thing. That's why they started meeting in the first place. And then when she talked about like the situation that happened to her as in the past, and then talking about she doesn't want to be like her own mother, and then unfortunately she turned up similar to her mother, as his mother. yeah, and yeah, that's interesting and sad at the same time. This reminds me of an anime, and there's a clip where a mother was supposed to slap her child, and then she realized she started to act exactly the same as her own mother, and then realized like she became the same way, and that's the same thing with Haesol's mother. Also, I can understand Haesol reaction not meeting her because from his perspective, he thinks that the mother will also act similar to to the father, but a bit different, and also Haesol seeing the mom after like 10 plus years. Goodness gracious. So I don't know. It probably would be good. It would be good if they somehow can resolve this issue. I don't expect them to be big family again, but now they understand what's happening. They don't expect to be family, but understand and move on. That's the most important part. The thing is, they have done it cut out completely with with the father, but now with the mom potentially, and also with Haesol potentially connect with the mom and then accepting what happened and move on. Let's see what's happened next. Let's talk about Yenwoo Innocence chapter 213. If you have not caught up, please scroll away. So yeah, the chapter is really interesting because as we have previously seen, Yenwoo and Haesol went to a spot where they met Haesol and Haesol's mother, and they see all the situation. Also, the mom talked about the situation, everything that happened, and now and then also Haesol sees his mother. And later on, we also get to see the place where Haesol are going to be living for university that they got from their mother. And it's going to be interesting also in that moment. Haesol has like sort of problem issue, and then he talks out with Yenwoo and Haesol about the issue that he has, which is really interesting. What's really interesting about Yenwoo Innocent is also what I have to say. How they articulate their feeling is so well done, good, and yeah. How Haesol talked about this feeling, the problem that he has, why he's been now away from this abusive family, sort of with his father, and now seeing his mom, he doesn't know how to feel. Now he has the freedom, but at the same time, he sort of has feelings that cling to them both. And Haesol also talked about the situation and stuff, and how they talk about each other is really good. It's really healthy. Imagine that Haesol never met. Imagine Yenwoo never not really force, but encourage Haesol and Haesol to be together. Their life would have been not much. That would be different, but I mean, like their feelings would be so much more clouded. Right now, it's so much healing, and it's a really good thing that Haesol has someone to relate to Haesol, and Haesol also. Of course, Haesol has Yenwoo, but someone else also Yenwoo. It's really good. And yeah, they talk about this feeling, and it was really well. And in general, I find this was really good chapter. But both talking about how they feel regarding to the family and stuff, and how they want to move on in the future. And the funny thing is also Yenwoo is also going to be there to help them both, because Yenwoo loves them both dearly, Haesol and Haesol. And then Yenwoo says, "Yeah, I'm going to live with you guys in this house," even though he didn't have permission. Didn't tell his parents yet about it, but yeah, and Haesol was very, very happy about it. She hugged Yenwoo directly and said she wanted to sweet talk him into living with them. And that reminds me of that moment a few chapters ago where Haesol was sort of overwhelmed how when Yenwoo was drunk, was constantly praising her and touching her and really being affectionate. In the same moment, we see also Haesol then later being overwhelmed and saying, "Do you want to drink more?" even though he was really drunk. But overall, it was a good chapter. I don't know what to expect later, what's going to happen next, but overall, nice.
Finally, let's talk about it. Yenwoo Innocence chapter 220. Spoiler warning, if you have not caught up with the series, please scroll away. You've been warned. So yeah, finally, Junhyuk and Nari are finally a couple. That's really cool to see now, especially I'm surprised that we didn't get to see them in the main story to be a couple, but now in the side story they now seem to be a couple and confess their feelings to each other, even though Nari knew about Junhyuk feeling for a long time, and she was also teasing him in this series. But yeah, finally, I'm so happy about that, and I'm also surprised how quickly they went over it. And yeah, I'm just fine happy. It's really cool to see that our main couple, Haesol and Yenwoo are a couple, and they're best friends. Jungkook and Nari are also now a couple, so that's just really cool. That's really cool to see like they go on a double date or anything in future potentially. And I'm excited how where this series is going to go. I feel like we've been now 14 chapters in the side story, and I think a lot of things has been now resolved. Yenwoo and Haesol are now together, living together in with Haesol in the apartment for uni. I forgot two of the other friends talk about their feelings, but nothing happened. Now Nari and Junhook are together, so probably I don't know. It's not been confirmed how many more chapters we get for the side story, but probably the series will probably end with the probably Yenwoo and Haesol get married. I mean, there's already an image of it from I think from the creator, but yeah, finally, I'm surprised that didn't happen. Like I mentioned in the main story, but finally they are together. So I'm looking forward if you potentially getting more futures about them being a couple. And yeah, probably next chapter is going to be the reaction of Yenwoo and Haesol seeing them being a couple, and probably they will say like finally. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's talk about Yenwoo Innocence chapter 222. Yeah, a bit late, but oh well. Yeah, it was a nice chapter. One thing was really interesting is I'm surprised that no one brought it up or talked about that. Junhook and Nani are now a couple, but they never discussed it. I thought we were going to see the reaction of Yenwoo and Haesol because literally both their closest friend are now dating each other. So, oh well. But one thing about it is interesting about Haesol in this chapter, and she was talking about her friend, I forgot her name, that she feels a bit neglected from Yenwoo, right? Even though it's a bit interesting because Yenwoo is of course working and Haesol's at home, basically has free time. Now I find it a bit interesting because at this point of the story, I think they are now 2 years together because they got together in the second year of high school, I think, and yeah, and now they're 20, so roughly 2 years now together. And I'm surprised it feels like it's the first time she's feeling like that. I thought potentially something like this could have been happening around that time, but yeah, it's also interesting seeing a young couple, and that of course this stuff that can happen, of course, but while Yenwoo is so busy and Haesol constantly wants to spend more time with Yenwoo, but she can't because Yenwoo is so busy. And it's interesting to see that she's feeling so neglected at the same time. While of course later she talks out everything again and then everything is fine. But it's also interesting because it's previously when we looked at Yenwoo Innocence, we had chapters where Haesol, before Yenwoo and Haesol kissed each other, Haesol had almost like a obsession, or like not really obsession, but a skewed view of love, and she was a bit more obsessive with Yenwoo, and of course it got a bit sorted out and it got a bit less. And then later we still see a little bit when Haesol was introduced, and Haesol came to Haesol, and Haesol was like she doesn't need her brother because she only has Yenwoo. Yenwoo is the only family and she needs, and I was like, damn, that's a bit much. But of course everything got sorted out and she realized of course Yenwoo would never do this. And of course later they're going on a trip. And also the funny thing is also I thought like when Haesol came home and Yenwoo was on the apron, and I thought Yenwoo was going to say, oh, welcome home, do you want dinner or shower, or do you want me? I thought he's going to say, but he didn't. But overall I think it was a good chapter. They're going on holidays and apparently the weather is really bad. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen next in Yenwoo Innocence. So I'm very excited to see what's happening, and as always, yeah, we'll see. One missed opportunity I feel like in Yenwoo Innocence is like that the moment they got officially revealed their couple by Haesol saying like in the classroom that she got the ring of from Yenwoo because they are a couple, right? One big opportunity, missed opportunity is like seeing a sort of an arc of how the whole school reacts to both being a couple, right? Because Haesol is a school idol, right? So beloved, so liked by everyone. A lot of people have
interest, romantic interest with her, and that's just like no one really talk, and no, you don't really see the people's reaction to it. It was like I think one scene and that's it. Because I would have loved to see more like the reaction to it. Because one of the main reasons why they kept the relationship a secret was not that everybody should know about it. But now that everybody knows about it, I'm surprised they never really talked about like this kind of the relationship, which is surprising because I would have loved to see people reaction to them being a couple. And also, if you remember, there was a girl, I forgot her name, it's been a while since we last saw her in school, that she had an interest in Yenwoo, right? And yeah, and Yenwoo, of course, and she also noticed she noticed that Yenwoo like Haesol, even though they were a couple, but she didn't know at the time, and they were trying to support each other sort of throughout. And I would have loved to see her reaction to seeing Yenwoo being together with Haesol, because she was also in love with Yenwoo, and yeah, and she thought they both would never be together because look at Haesol. Haesol is the school idol, beloved by everyone, and Yenwoo is like a what's this word I'm looking for? Easy, like a small boy, like fragile boy, yeah, fragile, and yeah. And I would have loved to see her reaction to it because it would be an interesting view of like seeing her reaction to someone she liked and she thought she would never be together, or she would think potentially she has a chance, and then this happening, and also like other people's reaction. It could have been like a bit of a drama situation, like how are they together? They don't fit together, and they'll be saying and then trying to break them off apart. But yeah, it never happened. I think it was a really missed opportunity. I don't think it should have been a long arc, maybe 5-10 chapters, 10 chapters max. Missed opportunity, I would say. But oh well. Yeah, let's talk about Yenwoo Innocence chapter 223. It looks like it's about to go down, and also it looks like at the same time it's about to end. So yeah, let's talk about the spoiler warning. So of course, Yenwoo Innocence starts, chapter 223 starts out with Yenwoo and Haesol in their holiday, right? And unfortunately, because of it was of a storm or typhoon, something's happened, and yeah, they can't unfortunately do all the different stuff that Yenwoo has planned. He has like a whole list of different things planned, but of course, because of that, Yenwoo's a bit like discouraged, but Haesol tries to still be happy and encourage Yenwoo. So they go out, they go different activities and stuff. A lot of the stuff that Yenwoo has planned got cancelled, but okay, they go through do different stuff, and then he was still discouraged, but like I mentioned, he has to still encourage him. But then the most important thing that Yenwoo has planned, surprisingly, doesn't go through. Apparently, they messed up something in the system, and the bookie and the restaurant that he didn't go through. So now he can't. Now they can't go to the restaurant of the famous chef. And Yenwoo is really discouraged, right? And Haesol sees this, and she knows like Yenwoo tries to always be positive, and now unfortunately all the stuff he has planned through didn't go through, and she thinks to herself, now it's unfortunate. Now she encouraged him, like still they had a lot of fun and stuff, but yeah, I was like, okay, we know Yenwoo is a bit, sometimes can be very easily discouraged, but I was like, okay, let's see why. And I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Of course, I'd be angry like some stuff happened, but I'd be not that bad discouraged until I noticed the reason why he wants to propose to Haesol. And I was like, fair enough, if I was Haesol, I'll be the same thing. Discouraged, because of course, if you propose someone, it has to be like in a very important moment. You want everything to go through smoothly and everything. And yeah, it's about to go down. Potentially, we see in the next few chapters, Yenwoo will propose. I didn't expect that we got to see in Yenwoo Innocence that Yenwoo will propose, and this is really cool. And hopefully, we're going to get through. And also, it looks like if they're going to get engaged, potentially in the next few chapters, also potentially Yenwoo Innocence could potentially end. The story, we're now 17 chapters of the side story, and I don't think we'll get to see more than the wedding, potentially. Or maybe just like an extra chapter of like a time skip, but
What I'm interested was going to see more. We're going to see Yenwoo and his Yenwoo freaking getting married in Haesol. I'm so happy, but we'll see. So let's talk about Yenwoo Innocence chapter 224. And Yenwoo, you're my goat. You're my goat. The thing is, when we saw the previous chapter, Yenwoo was constantly nervous, constantly to, of course, spoiler warning, to propose. And I was like, it makes sense why Yenwoo is like this, but why he's so nervous and everything, because we found out he's going to propose. And I was thinking, if I was in Yenwoo's situation, I'd be the same thing. I'd be so nervous. And the amount of pressure is there when people propose. It's like beyond crazy. It's not like asking someone on a date. It's just propose. You want to spend the rest of your life with the people that you love the most. And so Yenwoo was nervous but shaking. It's totally fine. If I would be technically the same. You want everything to be perfect. And also, unfortunately I didn't do a chapter about it. When Yenwoo asked his parents to go to live with Haesol together, right? And I knew about something. It's going a bit further. He wants to declare like, yes, he and Haesol are going to be a couple from now on. And that the fact that he has like the registration is really amazing. That he was prepared and that he had this prepared for a long time. So yeah, I'm really excited. So this chapter 225 is really amazing. Now, if we go to chapter 225, I have not read it yet. I'm just doing my recap of 224. It already says few years later. I was like, what? That's interesting, because I thought potentially going to get married 1 year later. But now that I think about this, I have legit friends who got married and got proposed while they did their bachelors and got married a year later or so, or masters, and they got married a year later. So yeah, I'm surprised. I'm so happy that a few years later. So yeah, you're gonna have to wait for part 2. So you will see it immediately after this video is out. So yeah, chapter 224. I'm happy. Let's go. Chapter 225. The most beautiful chapter yet. Let's talk about it. Spoiler warning. Yenwoo Innocence chapter 225. What an amazing chapter, and it's beautiful. Like, I'm surprised, like I mentioned, it's a few years later. Probably they got married after they finished their degree, right? So that makes sense. But everyone is there. We see Yenwoo parents there, and Haesol brothers there, Haesol. And I thought, like, potentially, I mean, first of all, they both look incredibly beautiful. It would have been interesting even to see Haesol in a dress. She would have been so damn beautiful, but with her suit, I'm not surprised. It also looks really good on her. But yeah, the wedding is beautiful, and like, there's also, you see Haesol blush when they were going down the aisle. I'm surprised that they didn't do the parents. Of course, Haesol doesn't really have parents, but it would be interesting if Haesol was doing it. And seeing Haesol blush is really interesting, because the only other time we saw Haesol blush, I think, was when Yenwoo was drunk and complimenting her. So that was one thing. But going through the chapters and seeing them both talk about giving their vows and everything is so beautiful. And yeah, I'm so happy. And seeing also Haesol crying makes me also a bit emotional, because both of them didn't have each other, and it's a good thing that now they have both each other. And Haesol remembering all the bad thing that happened to them, and then finally Haesol be truly happy in like one of the biggest moments in life is so beautiful to see. And yeah, also Jo Hyuk also doing the speech, incredible, really nice. And what really got me was the parents. When Yenwoo's father was constantly crying. Makes sense, the only son, and after all this time that's happened, the family, beautiful that he can see Yenwoo being so happy. But when the mom talked about like the reason why she called him Yenwoo, and then
wishing him the best, that he has people in his life that will be there to help them, be there who cherish them, and that's why he's called Yenwoo, like called friends. That is so beautiful, and like everybody's together, happy to them. And yeah, that's looks like it in the end. The end is that we will live happy ever after. So yeah, this might be the final chapters of Innocence. Hopefully we get few chapters about like few years later, first few children and stuff. But in general, yeah, let's talk about it. Yenwoo Innocence is now officially over. So Yenwoo Innocence ended with chapter 225, and it came out like almost 2-3 weeks ago. And I thought with the, of course, spoiler warning, I thought with the chapter 225 we got the wedding, of course, of Yenwoo and everyone, Yenwoo and Haesol, and I thought potentially, okay, we're going to get one additional chapter or two chapters that sort of says really conclude end or something end at the end of the chapter, but it didn't. So I thought potentially, okay, that's why we're getting potentially new chapter. Then there come the additional chapter called I think 225.5 afterward. So that's about the creator Haesol, who talks about like some questions, Q&As about the series and stuff, which is really interesting, and we got to see a lot of things. And I didn't realize this was legit the end. That's why I've been waiting like a few weeks for a new chapter. But yeah, Yenwoo Innocence is now officially over, which is crazy. I've been following Yenwoo Innocence now for last 4 or 5 years. I think I started reading Yenwoo Innocence weekly around chapter 60, and that was officially over. I made a video before, like when Yenwoo Innocence sort of ended, before the side story, but now it's officially over. And I want to say to everyone who watched all my Yenwoo Innocence video, thank you very much, because it's been really the most viewed and most engaged video content I've done, and I didn't expect it for my series that it's not that big in terms of like manhwa, like solo leveling or scores and stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. And also the afterward chapter with the Q&A was also really interesting. We got to see a lot of different things being explained, how the person came up with the chapters, and with the idea of Yenwoo Innocence and stuff. But one interesting thing that I've also mentioned before, because I think the author talked about like, how would the series change if Yenwoo was a girl? And I was thinking about, I said in the previous video before, if Yenwoo was a girl, most of the situations that Yenwoo experienced would have never happened, because it only happened because Yenwoo was a boy looking like a girl, and that was the whole situation. And the author are just the same thing, so same mind, think alike. But yeah, it was really interesting. Some characters, it was mentioned, some characters didn't get together. What happened with the one bully that bullied Yenwoo? He's a nobody technically. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Yenwoo Innocence is now over. I really enjoyed it. I don't know where I would rank it in my top 10 favorite series of manhwas. I've not read that many manhwas, but yeah, I enjoyed it so far, and it was really a great time.